What's going on? Yep, it actually got to happen. I went duck hunting today, and this is my first time duck hunting. Normally, I've only went really dove hunting, but I didn't get to shoot then because I didn't have a license. And top it off, I've been deer hunting and also never got to shoot anything because it was always small deer. My grandfather, or Papaw, as we would call him in the South, was constantly telling me we got to get the buck, we got to get the, something with antlers, we got to get something big, we got to make sure it counts. So I have a little bit of good news and bad news on my venture. Well, two bad news, one good news. Good news is we got one, but it was literally one. So there's the bad news. It was one, and I guess a little bit of good news. My uncle's the one that I went hunting with, and he decided to go ahead and give me the meat, which wasn't a whole lot, but enough for me to try to smoke. Now I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to, doctor it up with, but I bought some bacon, some cream cheese, and I'm going to give it the southern treatment. Probably give it a little bit of dry rub, and I'll see where it goes. I'm going to look up, see how long to cook it, whatnot, make sure it's nice and tender. Because duck is definitely finicky from what I've been told, so I've never actually cooked or smoked duck. I think I've actually cooked duck or tried duck maybe 5-10 years ago. What makes it worse is I've never actually cooked it myself, and this is wild. This isn't just something you buy from the store. Unfortunately, I ran out of, I didn't have anything to put the meat in, so I had a mostly empty Jack Link's jerky bag. I just cleaned it out, wiped it out, and put it in there. And right now, it's sitting in the fridge, waiting on me to decide what I'm going to do. So I'm pretty sure I'm just going to blanket wrap it and throw it in the smoker, see how that tastes. And excuse how high this is sitting. My hair's bundled up, holding it up. Also, this was really cool. I had to go out of my way to find this. I couldn't find a water waiter. Pretty much sold out throughout town. Every sports center, sports store I went to was sold out, and this is really all they had left. But what I thought was cool about it is it's got a mask, plus it's got a hoodie. So I did learn, though, also with duck hunting, you don't have to be as quiet as a lot of other animals that you would hunt, because really they're so far in the air. Now you have to be careful, because they are fast. Now, when I took my hunter education, I didn't realize how fast they actually fly. We weren't exactly in a clearing. We were more in the woods next to a drain lake at the moment. It's not drained, it just hasn't had a lot of water. And it's been raining, so it did come up a little. But I have to tell you, they were fast as shit. Now, I have good reaction time, don't get me wrong, but this was the first time I actually just stood there and kind of was like, oh, fuck. So, luckily, my uncle, being that he's, pretty much a veteran at this point with hunting, smoked it. I mean, absolutely smoked. Now, we missed a bunch because he was like, look, this is what we would shoot at. That's what this is. That's what that is. This is more of a learning experience. And like I said, I've only hunted stuff that you had to be really quiet, super patient. Ducks are not patience. It's straight all-out war. The only thing that sucked, he had a spot that he had picked out. GPS'd it and everything. And unfortunately, there was already people that got there, and they ran for it. So we had a buddy that we invited. He didn't show up, but we actually thought it was him. So I was told it would be a few miles down my road. So we make it to the spot. I pull up. I'm like, well, this is where it's at. And my uncle pulls up. I thought it was behind me. Well, then I see my uncle's truck go in front of me. And I'm thinking, well, this guy's right on my ass. This has to be my other buddy, or our buddy. I get out, look, it's not the same colored truck at all. It's the same truck, just not the same color. I get my stuff, make sure that I got my nice, good, proud of myself camo, and I went to go talk to him. I said, yeah, he's like, is that our buddy? I went, no, it's not him, not at all. They were hauling ass. Apparently, they were going to go to the same spot. I don't know how both these how our two groups had the same spot picked out, but it wasn't a bad one. They, in fact, I know cleared at least 6 to 7 on their own, which was not bad. We only got one, like I said. Well, he got one. And it really made me realize, duck hunting is really awesome. It's really fun. I don't know why I found it so fun. It's not boring. As soon as the crack of dawn hit, we were ready. And that's when he was showing me exactly how I'm supposed to shoot these. Of course, I had a little bit of a fright, I guess you could say. Stage fright for sure, because I couldn't. I was like, man, this is just so fast. And I play Call of Duty. I'm not saying I'm a professional by no means, but my reaction time is pretty good. Made me realize I got a lot of practicing. I need to probably go skeet shooting. I have not went and shot skeets since I was about 15, 16, when they were taking me hunting pretty often. At least give me a tryout. But being this is something that definitely makes me super excited. I enjoyed every minute of it. It's not as boring as I thought it would be. I thought hunting was just always going to be boring, but it's super exciting and it's hard to explain. You're not doing a lot. You're waiting, but once the action hits, it's super exciting. It's like it's the master of patience. But I will say one more bad news, which I know nobody's going to do the Home Alone face. surprised or any type of idea that I'm lying, I'm out of shape. So while we were walking, it was, super dark, and I forgot I didn't have a headlamp. Luckily, my uncle had a spare. He pulled his phone out to make sure where we were taking our little trek at would be the right spot. Well, that's when we see everybody else in front of us was taking that spot. If he didn't stop, I would have been out of breath. And then I found out for sure how out of shape I am is when we were done, we went ahead and picked it up. By the time we got back to his truck and my SUV, I was breathing heavily and he was barely winded. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't like it was impossible. It was quite a long walk, but I'm also not used to, having to deal with terrain. Now, I could walk that distance on flat land, but it made me realize, yes, I've definitely gotten out of shape. Now, I knew I gotten fat. I just didn't realize that I've gotten that bad. But I will tell you this, it's definitely got my blood pumping. Right now, I am having to doctor a bunch of different meats, so it's got me a little bit more awake, more aware. I'm not as tired, and I don't know, maybe the excitement's got me a little bit more excited. But I feel like this is a good step in the right direction, a whole new hobby that I get to enjoy, especially being in the South, where hunting's like it's a pastime. Everybody that I know has got stands set up, places, shoot houses, all sorts of things. In fact, that's something that I'm looking forward to. We're going to have our own little setup at some point. I haven't figured out exactly what all we're going to do, but I went ahead and made sure I got licenses for a lot of things. But when I go fishing, I'm going to tell you that's something I actually do know. I don't even have to go out and buy equipment. I have my other spare room is got an entire room filled with fishing lures, bait, fishing poles, lines, even camping gear, because that was the only thing I really enjoyed was camping and fishing. Now I'm adding hunting to that, so it's going to be a new experience. But I just thought everybody would like to know. Yeah, I'm definitely fat, out of shape. We actually got one, and I'm about to bacon wrap the shit out of it and just see what I can, how good it's going to taste. But yeah, that's about all I got to say about that. Y'all have a good one.